Hello, hello, everyone.
Here we go
Welcome
again.
to Paranormal Connections radio show. I'm your host, Christina George, and for the next 2 hours, I have a great show. Well, actually, I have to say something. Tonight, we're probably going to have a shorter broadcast, probably about an hour, maybe a little over an hour, only because one of my guests has something else that came up, needs to leave early, and everybody's kind of got a lot of stuff going on right now. But I'll tell you, this hour's worth of information and talking about the investigation that all of us went on this past weekend is going to be well worth it. There's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be jam-packed. If you miss any of it, you can always watch the archive. But in the promo, if you scroll down to the bottom, the links for everything we're going to talk about tonight and how you can join will be located there. So I want to go ahead and let me introduce my guests. First of all, we have Matt Rosebelly. He's from Shockfest Film Festival. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure. Just had you on not that long ago, but it's great hanging out with you. We're having a lot of fun.
Right back at you. Thanks for having me on.
You're right. You're right. Okay, then we have Ellen McFarland and Devin Sisk, both of the Napa Valley Legends and Walking Ghost Tour. Oh, and I know I screwed that up because I said it backwards or something because I do it every time. That's why I should just let my guests just introduce themselves. Like, I just need to just sit back and say, hey, just introduce yourself, people. Just come on the show and say what you want.
Just jump in at any time, right?
There you go. That's right.
Do the full improv.
Thank you. Yeah, right. Thank you all for joining me. And again, for those who have been paying attention to the Paranormal Connections page as well as my Facebook page, you will see that the past weekend we all got together. We're also missing Mike Fuentes and Gail, Matt's business partner and film partner. He was with us too. I mean, you'll see the pics on my Facebook page. It was so much fun. I will tell you, that was like one of the craziest weeks I've had because we decided that we were going to do this in the middle of the week, not on the weekend. So we were invited by Devin and Ellen to go up to the Flora Springs Winery up in St. Helena, California. Now, it's like a hop, skip, and jump away from where I'm at. I know the area very well, but I've never been up to that winery. So I was actually super excited. We're going to be talking about that because they are doing not only do they do the Paracons, and they do 3 different ghost walk tours around the Northern California area, but they also are doing this amazing ghost tour. And are they investigating as well, Ellen, during that? How is that working?
Things? Yes, they are. And
awesome.
We'll be doing investigating, meeting some of the ghosts from the 16 spirits, and then we will be doing wine tasting after. So it's a full morning of awesomeness in the beautiful Napa Valley.
Come for the wine, stay for the spirits.
Yes.
You're right. 100%. And this valley is actually, right?
The crazy one.
Place is, and Napa's actually has a very haunted history. I mean, just everywhere in this little small town, there is something going on. And I can tell you that way back when my uncle and father had a antique store here in one of the very well-known mansions in Napa. And that was the first place of a business that I ever encountered any kind of spirits.
Was it the Noyes Mansion?
Yeah.
I've done that. I'll share that story with you later.
Awesome. Yeah. So
me and Matt will just hang out and we'll just drink a beer or something.
That was the best antique store. It was amazing.
Yeah. So, okay. So they have the store. So that was like my first encounter of, seeing spirits and even knowing that antiques and things like that could even have any kind of attachments. And I'll tell you, although as a child, I had nothing ever that I encountered that scared me, I just had never encountered so many at one time. And I thought wow, is this like a meeting place? Is this where they all congregate? Because I'd have a couple wherever I go, but this was a whole lot. So it's definitely interesting, but we have all kinds of history, haunted history here. going out on the ghost tour here in the Napa Valley. They have the Napa Valley, Sonoma Valley, and Vacaville, California. And I will tell you, I've gone on the Sonoma tour and I've gone on the Napa tour. I've even co-hosted with Devin on the Napa tour. And it is freaking amazing. There's so much information, but it's not just a historical ghost walk tour like so many other places have. They actually bring out equipment, the dowsing rods, there's actual interaction, between the guests and the spirits there. And boy, oh boy, do they enjoy interacting with the guests that Devin and Ellen bring out. So again, they're adding to this. They've now got Florida Springs. They're going to be offering the Ghost Walk tours and investigations there. And so we were invited to go up for a private investigation and filming up with Matt. And I'll start out with you, Ellen. I want you to kind of talk about Florida Springs and what's going on there. And then we'll switch over to Matt and kind of talk about what, he thought, him and Gil, because I know that, it was an interesting experience for them. And then Devin, I definitely want to get, to you. You're the comedian. We always have to have you,
I decided I'm going to play the strong silent type tonight.
It's not in your nature. I can't even believe that.
Like,
yeah, if I was psychic, I wouldn't believe you.
No. So I want to, yes, this is my cat, Miss Jackie, that's behind me.
Oh, yes, people are asking about her, yes.
She's the one that went missing over Christmas and was locked in the hoarder garage down the street for 8 days. So we're glad that she's home.
Me too.
And she's very sassy. She's very Rubenesque.
All right, so what got you to Florida Springs?
Well, Florida Springs is actually an amazing winery. It has a great history starting back in 1885. It was built by the Rennie brothers, which were brothers that came from Scotland. And they actually came here, started the winery, had the winery running for a few years, created a gas press to press the grapes. And then the winery caught on fire. So they ended up abandoning the property and it sat for quite a long time. And then the Martinis bought it. And then the Comas family had it, which is Flora from Florida Springs. The winery itself is actually one of the few ghost wineries that exists. And a ghost winery doesn't mean that it's actually haunted. It means that it survived Prohibition. So they made it through Prohibition partly because it wasn't up and running so much, but also other ghost wineries made it through by making wine for the church, or they would make medicinal wine, which, believe it or not, your doctor could write a prescription for, and you could go to the drugstore
for your glaucoma.
Medicinal wine. What? What are you doing, Devin?
Glaucoma. The wine
glaucoma. Okay.
Kind of like nowadays.
So you could do that, but the winery itself is amazing. It's a stone building. It has caves inside of it that are bored into the side of a mountain. There's a spring that runs on top of it. So the paranormal activity that is occurring there is completely charged up by these natural things, by the natural elements all around it. And then the towns, it borders between Rutherford and St. Helena, which were rough and tumble, crazy Western towns back in the day. And so some of the ghosts from those areas also inhabit the property. They are drawn to the energy at that property. And then you also have Native American spirits there as well. So a little bit of everything. We've encountered 16. That's why they actually created a label that they're going to be launching called 16 Spirits. Which is based on the ghosts that we've met at the winery. And the new tour will be featuring 3 of them. And then we'll add more as we go along. And perhaps the ghosts will get their own labels and wine as well. But the owner of the winery is very pro-Halloween. So there's some amazing Halloween art on labels. And they are just a really nice family-run winery with a great history. And it happens to be very haunted.
Yeah, I will say it was a very, very beautiful location. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But the crazy part is that we had everything planned. We were doing a 3-day filming. We were doing the first night was going to be here at the winery. The second night we were rushing. Matt and Mike and Gil were all rushing up to Virginia City to investigate up there and film up there. And we got this freak storm that decided to come through. And like we were here in Napa, we were like in the middle of flooding, like everywhere. You know, we were
literally discussing whether our cars were high profile enough to make it to the winery.
Yeah, because we took the SUVs and we were like going through the water that was all over the streets that we were going down. And actually, where we were going, we were getting the alerts the whole time, and it was saying that they were going to flood. So as we were going up this, up the hill to the winery, we were seeing that the street below is starting to flood. So we're only going to be up there for 4 hours to film. So we're hoping, and it's like it was raining cats and dogs. It was like some apocalyptic storm just came through and wanted to wash us away. So we make it up there in the SUVs. We get up there, amazing place. I mean, but we're all getting drenched.
And by the way, you're welcome for the weather. Okay, Ellen and I had a hard time working that out, but we wanted to make sure it was a real adventure getting up there.
Well, we almost ended up having to spend the night.
Yeah, they closed.
Well, we were on high ground, so we're okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they literally, as we left, they closed every road back up from there, Zinfandel, Highway 29. I mean, it was a mess. So we literally just made it by the skin of our teeth. I remember when they have the lights at the stoplights, and we went through, and someone in the car said, "Oh wow, they're starting to put up the cones like to block off this street." And we were the last ones to get through. It was a done deal. So although we had, I have the whole Final Destination look, and I was just knowing that this was all going to fall apart. I have to say, I was very, very impressed. And Matt, I want to go to you because this was the first time that you had ever been to this winery, and try to kind of introducing you some things around Napa Valley. Like, what were your thoughts, going up there?
Oh gosh, I mean, multiple angles. It satisfied a lot of what I was interested in. I mean, history I'm a really big fan of. Weirdly enough, architecture, and as mentioned before, there's parts of the building that is really old. Ellen was talking about 16 spirits that inhabit that place. Not all of them, as we were talking on camera, are known to be previously humans, which is super interesting. So, Plus, I mean, if you're an alcohol aficionado, I mean, it's cool to be able to see the inner workings of a winery and a vineyard. A beautiful place, great energy, and it was awesome meeting new people, Devin and Ellen, and I gotta say, the experience got me super hyped to get to know and experience Napa City ghosts and legends myself.
Yes, we look forward to that.
Gave us
we definitely had some good energy going that night. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And I actually want to mention we have Mike. He's over in the lobby right now, so we'll give him a chance to come in and say hi and say something. But I can only get 4 of us in the stream right now, so I'll drop somebody out for a minute. And
you know what? We should get like 6 of us in here. It look like Hollywood squares.
I know. Pretty soon, Devin. It's coming.
Face. Thank you.
It's coming. I got the green screen and everything.
On our on the Haunted Routes page, we released a small snippet of the live video. We go live every Wednesday, and that's what we were doing with you guys. And Sundays we release Haunted Routes content. So we did a highlight of the experience of hanging out with you guys up on the Haunted Routes page.
I saw the one, but I haven't seen the other one yet. So I'll check that out. That's definitely awesome. We appreciate that.
Go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Matt, for putting the skinny lens on for me.
Really?
I look so much thinner.
Devin?
I look so much thinner live.
It's all it's all about
the camera. Yeah. I was looking, I was like a little. Yeah, I was looking at it. I was watching it the other day.
All my pictures shot like this.
I was watching it. Now, mind you, it was super freezing cold. It was storming. Yeah. So I just had like my camo pants on that were waterproof, and I had like this big old
Christina,
sweatshirt.
You gotta say it right. You gotta say it right, honey. Okay.
What?
It was a dark and stormy night. The kind
That's why I have you here.
Is not allowed. See?
Well, much better. Yes, I need you for the commentary. That's right. So, and so I was looking at the video, and I look like a little Oompa Loompa. I'm like, if you see me in person, I'm like 100 pounds, right? And I'm like, where in the world? And the worst part about it is one of my good friends, right? I mean, a childhood friend that I'm still friends with. She saw it and she says, "Oh my God, I'm so happy that you put on so much weight. You were looking so anorexic in your other picture."
What?
If I didn't know her for over 25 years, I would have deleted the bitch. But, you know.
Right.
I mean, we were all really bundled up. I had like 4 layers on too. So I'm like.
Right. I was like, we're in the underground caves and stuff in the middle of a damn apocalyptic storm, right? All I was waiting for was like to get struck by lightning, and it was going to be, you know, the end of the show. But yeah, it was amazing. One of the great things that I liked is, again, I had never been there. And Matt actually asked me on the way, because we were filming on the way up there, and they were, you know, asking me like, what was the history of this place, the haunted history? And I said, I don't know. You'll have to ask Ellen, because whenever I go somewhere, I never want to know anything about it. And, you know, Ellen and I know she was going to do these tours up there, but she never talked to me, or Devin, when we've been around, ever talked to me about any of the investigating or what they have found up there. And I think Ellen too, she kind of likes that I'm, you know, I just want to go and rock, because that's the way she does it as well. And we have, although we have similar abilities, we're a little bit different. And so I don't like to say it's like a test, but, you know, being a psychic, it's everywhere you go. Every single place you go, it is, you know, like a test. So
well, it's always good. It's always good to work out that, you know, that ability. It's like a muscle. The more you work at it, the more it tunes in. You know, if you don't challenge yourself, you know, like you guys do, you go in blind, which I think is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've worked cases with Ellen where it's like, you know, she doesn't want to know anything about it, and she turns it all over to me or the rest of the team, and we do all the, you know, the history, the interviews, and everything else. And
that's what we do our team.
Yeah, and it's to me, that's the way to work. You know, especially with a sensitive or a medium like you guys.
Plus, from a skeptic's perspective, I mean, the more you get it right without knowing the information, I mean, the more credible it's going to be. So it's kind of cool that you don't, you know, give the cheat sheet and information comes to play.
Well, that's like when we were starting our Vacaville tour. I mean, basically, the Vacaville Heritage Council reached out to us to do a tryout, if you will. Wouldn't you say that, Ellen?
Yeah, they actually had several teams that we had to, you know, go out and work with, and you know, they actually kind of pitted us against each other, and you know, we had.
It was a death match for the tour.
Yeah, so it was work. I mean, it was work trying to, you know, land that. It's always work. It's always hard work, but. That, you know, we're very good about trying to incorporate what everybody wants into the tours. And so the Vacaville Heritage Council was very happy with the history and having the history match up with the actual paranormal. And one of the great things about the Vacaville tour is they're there taking notes the whole time when we do the tours, every single tour. Then they go back into their room and they pull it right out of the, you know, big ass book with, you know, all the things. Oh yeah, this person died in 1935 and blah, blah, blah. They have all the newspapers. So
we call that the BAB.
Validation.
The BAB, the big ass book.
Yeah.
So,
Now, Matt, when you got there, you know, for everybody who doesn't know, Matt and Gil, they are not paranormal investigators, although they do have a series that is called Haunted Routes, and it delves into the paranormal. What they do is they have an interest in what we do. And so as filmmakers, they enjoy to follow and go to all these haunted locations and work with teams that have access to these locations, use them for documentaries and their series. And it's amazing. But I kind of felt like this time, like, all right, I always see you guys, you know, filming. And, you know, I figured, all right, Matt, you're the host. We got to get you there. We got to give you some kind of, you know, tool to use. And unfortunately, Ellen and I need the only equipment that we use is pretty much us and maybe, you know, an audio recorder. So in our phone, our picture camera. So we didn't have a whole lot of equipment. So they were nice enough though to bring some of the stuff, the EMF meters and the dowsing rod and the witch's fork to the location so that we could let Matt and actually Mike Fuentes, again, he's one of my PPRS lead team investigators, went with us. And so it was the first time Matt, was using a dowsing rod. And what were your thoughts when they were taking you through some different kind of, examples of how to do things and setting things up, and then for filming and redoing it? How was it for you?
Well, first of all, just to throw it out there, it isn't the first time I've used the dowsing rods. I've traveling the country, meeting all these paranormal investigators. You're bound to find a bunch of people who use dowsing rods, and we get the opportunity to play with them a lot. It was fun. First of all, you guys made it a really cool experience, and you made it educational. And you got to let me touch the objects and practice it myself, which was great. And even when I expressed concern about something I may physically be doing to fake it, we were able to talk, and you were able to, Devin actually specifically was able to adjust it just to make sure.
Right.
My personal opinion on the dowsing rods is I try to think about when approaching paranormal investigation equipment in general, I try to take a skeptic's perspective as much as I can, because I want to get as much as I can. So I tend to be like very cold against the dowsing rods because it relies heavily on feeling. Mm-hmm. And I try not to trust feeling myself. With that said, I wasn't moving it. So,
Yeah, look,
coming from the skeptic himself.
When I first started the dowsing rods, it was it was really interesting because I approached it just like you do. I'm very skeptical about all equipment, and it's like until I see things happen, then it's,
right.
So I went through a whole bunch of different experiences and experiments to make sure what was actually happening was happening, So after you test it out for a while and go through these experiences, it's pretty crazy.
It's awesome, and you make it a really fun experience, and and what we're talking about, what I'm throwing at the table.
Hey guys, Matt liked playing with my rods.
Oh, Lord, see.
And while we were doing that, I think the full-bodied apparition showed up too.
There
was crazy.
Devin both saw a full-bodied apparition.
I bet you never had two people walk out of an interview so quick.
As we're filming live, right? We just left. I just kept watching, and I was waiting to see if he was going to add all that into the video because again, I was standing there. We had this door open just a little bit, and we were all filming, and all of a sudden I see a full person walk past that door, and it was so solid. Now, mind you, when I normally see things, I do see them like you and I. They're just much more transparent. This time it was not the case. I literally saw everything about this guy. I mean, it was like there was actually somebody. And so I thought, okay, well, I knew that we were up there by ourselves, but I do know that the security or whoever, the one guy, he was there, was on the property somewhere. So I kind of discounted it and thought, well, maybe it's him just checking to see what we're doing or whatever. But then I saw it pass again.
Christina, let me interrupt you really quick. The security guy was not on the property yet.
Okay.
He showed up later on that night. Well, he was just getting in on the other side of the property at the other gate, because he the main gate we went through. So we went in through the back gate.
Right.
There's another one on the other side.
Yeah. And,
gotcha. Okay.
He showed up probably about a half hour after, we had that experience. But it's I went running outside because I thought it was, first of all, I thought it was him. I saw somebody go by and I was like, that mindset is like, oh, it's got to be, the security guy or one of the people that work there or something like that. But yeah, it was very solid and there was nobody there.
I know. I felt.
And the crazy.
See it, but I felt the hair on my arm stand up, and we all.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was crazy because, like I said, I literally saw it go the first time, and when I saw him go back past the second time, I saw Devin look the same direction, and then I didn't say anything. I just wanted to see if he was going to say something. He didn't say anything. He just took off out the door, and I see him standing out on the walkway on there, with his hands on the side, looking back and forth, who the hell is that? And where are you at? Right. And then he kind of looks bewildered. And so he's standing out there and he looks down again. He looks around. And so here I go following. And I said, hey, what are you doing out here? Did you see somebody? He goes, yeah, guy. And I said, yeah, I saw a guy. And is that what you saw? And he's like, yep. And I was like, okay, at least it wasn't me. And again, Devin will claim that he doesn't have any abilities or anything, but he's just lying to himself because he really does. And if anybody doubted it, especially me that night, 100%, because you were so on it that I picked it up and I didn't say a thing when I saw it. Because I'm like, we're filming. What am I going to do? Walk out? But no, of course, Devin does it for me. So then after I'm like, he walked out. Okay, now I can go. So I'm sure, Matt, you were like, what the hell is going on here? And then we came back in and I think we started talking about what had just happened.
Get it. Hang on.
I did know there was movement, but I mean, hey, I had a good cinematographer who was Gil, who was really quick to pick up what's going on. And I mean, as a documentarian, that's kind of what you need to do. You need to be quick on the fly in case something new happens, and just like that, you got to switch the perspective. So we got lucky. We didn't get what you guys were seeing on camera, but we got reactions of you guys talking about it.
Well, the crazy thing is like we went outside and. I walked a little further down the way just to make sure I wasn't, seeing somebody walk through the property. And I came back and we were at the entrance of the cavern, and we were all buzzing at that point. Like
the air was crazy that night.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Goosebumps all over my arm and the cold feeling, and just like it was crazy.
Christina and I took a little walk through the caves alone up above you guys, and we were commenting on everything that we were feeling, and we were both just like almost shocked. I mean, I think it's one of the first times I've actually seen Christina quiet. So
well, I know. Why was everybody keep saying that night? It was like, oh, Christina's finally quiet. Like I
everything. Yeah,
I am. That is the way I am. But I was very interested. Right away when we got in there, and I was just kind of like walking around and trying to get a gist of everything. And so we started filming at the beginning of the caves because as soon as you got like 5 feet in, you'd lose Wi-Fi, so we didn't have any service. So we were staying in the front. We were doing some filming, and Ellen had said, so do you pick up on anything here? And I said, well, now that you bring it up, I was actually going to ask you. There's a guy like at the very back over there, and again, interesting enough, and I'm going to bring him in just a second, but Mike was there too, and Mike said he was picking up on somebody like peeking around the corner further up, and Ellen was able to validate and verify that yes, it was him and who it was, and we got to talk about that was kind of cool. Then there was a lady that I picked up. She was able to validate her. Then it was kind of weird because I took her to the side and I said, is this kind of weird, like there's a lot of different spirits here. And I said, but the weird part is there's a lot of guys, but there's women here too. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right too. So I picked up on the lady in the other area. Then there was a little child that I got. And then I want to say, and I know that you said in the back part where we're at, where they had the little, my little studio right there, the little tasting area. Mm-hmm. We were talking about there, and you said there was some different entities there, and I will tell you the one thing I was getting, because this was kind of weird to me, is I was getting little things that were like shape shifting. So I would think it was one thing, and then like literally just like that it would switch to something else, as if like you think but you really don't know.
That was Yeezy.
Yeah.
The elemental.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay.
It's crazy because we've known, and we talked about this night, the night of this investigation. The veil is dropping, the veil's getting thinner, and people are getting more activity, and ghost hunting's a lot easier than it was, say, at 20, year 2000. It's like 18 years ago. It was really hard to do this kind of work. You'd get a couple hits, and that was it. The veil dropping is allowing everything to come through. These elementals, which if you go to any culture and around the world, elementals are very prevalent. But we've kind of taken on the American mindset that such things as elementals and ghosts don't exist. Well, they do. you know, and
Yeah,
that's a
not for me,
perfect
for sure.
area for them, you know, perfect area.
Well, I remember like when we were leaving, like all the batteries were draining, like Gil's like camera was kept dying, and like I mean, it was just crazy. And like literally, as you walk through those caves, the hair on your arms would just like, I don't remember how many times we like pulled up our sleeve. Like, do you feel that? And you could just see the hair just sticking straight up, and the energy in these underground caves is just outrageous. I'm really looking
for anything. I mean, it was normal lighting and everything.
Right, so. Right. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going back. I'm going to drop you down just for a second, Ellen. I'm going to bring Mike in real quick, and then I want to get back to Matt real quick. Okay. Well, I guess I'll bring you back for a minute. Mike, I guess, decided that he had to walk away for a minute, so I'll wait till he comes back. You know, Mike... leave it to Mike. I'm telling you, it's like he's been patiently waiting, and then all of a sudden it's time for him to come on. Oh, there he is. Hold on, here he is. Okay. I'll bring him on. Stop talking about him. All right, come on, Mike.
What are we doing? What's going on?
Well, I'm trying to bring Mike on, but for some reason it's not letting him on. Why aren't you coming on, Mike?
Excuse the technical difficulty. In the meantime, Devin will start juggling.
Yeah, you go ahead and talk for a second. I'm gonna see if I can fix it. All right, hold on. Oh, right, never mind. He's gonna.
Now on QVC, we have these beautiful skulls for sale.
Chaos is broken.
What's up, Mike?
Is that a bottle of tequila over there?
Oh, in the back?
No, that would be behind me. No, it's hidden.
Oh, cool.
It's called my little flask. Just kidding. It's almost my birthday, and then it'll be true, but not yet.
Not
yet. Christina's moved by the spirit of Jose Cuervo.
That's right, or Cuervo, for real. All right, so Mike, again, and you know, Mike was such a comedian. Just wanted to smack him every time that we filmed him, because every time, like the whole time, if anybody ever films, right, you know that you have to like do intros and things over and over and over again. And so like every, I don't know, 10 minutes, we were reintroducing ourselves. And every single time it came to Mike, like we'd all do ours perfect. And Mike would say, yep, I'm here, just interested in hanging out with Christina George. Yeah. Then the next time he'd say, I'm Mike Fuentes, and I don't know, I'm just here. Then he's Mike Fuentes, and I'm introducing him as part of my team, because he's been like my team member for 7 years, as if he forgot. And then I'm like, okay, he's just part, and he's also the PPRS and lead investigator and Paranormal Connection cameraman. But you think he gave one plug? No. All he could say was, oh, he's just here hanging out with Christina George. See, that's why, Gil, you're an awesome co-host and cameraman, because you can do that. Mike forgets all his lines.
And I was here with some paranormal group. That's all I remember.
That's all you remember. I'm just here with some people just hanging out like you were a guest.
Just so you know, Mike, it was special for us too. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what were your thoughts, Mike, over there at Florida Springs?
Well, it being a very rainy night was added to the eeriness of our adventure there at that winery, and that itself, made it feel even more isolated, because there was nobody around wanting to come out when it's torrential rain downpour around that winery. So when people started seeing stuff, it had to be legit, because there's nobody else around.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Now, as I was saying at the very beginning when we first walked in, both you and I, because it's kind of interesting how I was connecting with each person. So you and I both saw a guy towards the end of the cave when we first came in, which again was kind of interesting, because you're the one that never sees anything or really catches anything amazing.
That's right. Well, I actually didn't see any bodies or anything like that. I did see that like a flash on the wall, and I was trying to figure out, where's that flash coming from? And then I never saw it again. Gotcha. And I just kept looking back to see if it'll reappear, but it never did. But that's about the time that you were saying that you were seeing somebody down the hallway or down the end of the cave.
Yeah, that same thing. Now you got a chance to use the dowsing rods as well. Now I know that we use a lot of equipment. I'm not a big techie person. The rest of the team is, but we actually never used dowsing rods. So what was your thoughts? For the first time using them?
I think it's it might take some getting used to, I guess. But I can see how they can easily be manipulated to do what you want them to do. But so it's kind of a touch and go to see whether it's really something mystic. What's the word I want to use?
Mystic or mysterious about it?
Yeah. Is it actually some kind of a force that's driving them, or is it something that you're willing it to do?
Well, my friend Michelle, she says, I'm a dowser with the American Society of Dowsers. You can practice with compound buckets with water bottles and sand and water in them. Place them down inside the buckets, the dowsing rods, cover them, and then test for yourself. Have someone hide them. Hide them.
I like that because you're literally testing in a way that you can't see the results. So that's pretty cool. That's
like one of the investigations I was working when I first started doing the dowsing rods. I was very, I was not sold 100%. And at one point I just had to call in and say, look, guys, I'm not, I don't know if it's me or what's going on with it, but we got to come up with an experiment. So we decided to hide an object around this hotel. It was a 4-story hotel. And we did it. Cat. We did it.
Cats everywhere.
Yeah. We did it 4 different times. And I found the first 3 objects, no problem. And then on the last one, because it all started the same, I was sitting in the corner with my hoodie on, with my headphones on, listening to music. And then somebody would come get me. Okay,
the cats are taking over the show. I'm sorry.
It's now the cat Super Bowl.
I have a cat too.
Mike, are you going
to Paranormal Connections?
So but on the 4th one, the person actually kept it on themselves. They didn't hide it. Well, technically they did hide it. They hid it on themselves, but not the hotel. And when I started going through the dining hall, all of a sudden it swung back. The rod swung over to where the team was. And I walked around the table, and every time I would get to her, the rods would lean in a little bit. Had her stand up. Said, okay, is it on this side? No. Is it on this side? Yeah. And I go, okay, it's in your pocket right here. So, it does take practice. But I always tell people to give into it. If you're going to pick up the dowsing rods, to give into it and just kind of, I'm going to use a Star Wars term, let the force, guide you. Kind of thing. You gotta give into and let go of your inhibitions and also your skepticism.
It's very interesting, I would say.
I find it such an interesting topic. I wanted to ask you because I've heard the counter argument of things like I know a Ouija board's a whole different thing, but like the mechanics of a Ouija board and dowsing rods, I've heard the argument that it's subconscious movement, that you are moving it in the direction subconsciously that you want it to go to. I want to hear what you guys got to say to that argument.
Okay, we've actually done experiments where we had one person write down the questions they wanted to ask. Okay, and it was usually 2 people sat there and they'd write out a list of all these questions, say like 10 questions. I wouldn't know what the questions were, so they're talking directly to the ghost. Okay. They go, okay, question number 1. And the rods would respond. I have no idea what's going on, but the interesting thing is everything collaborated with everything we already knew. So.
That's awesome.
Very interesting.
That's why I like that bucket exercise, because you don't know the answer, which is why it's a really cool way to test it out.
Right.
Yeah, and there's actually some of our listeners are actually putting some other things. Hey, Alan. Alan is saying you can even go to a sand dune, bury water balloons the day before, and then have somebody try to find all of them. Another one of my good friends, Pat, she says, I used a dowser. to find water on my property. I have a great well. So, I mean, I could see maybe on questions, maybe it being manipulating one way or another. But when we're talking about using them for finding water or finding items or lost items, I mean, again, if you have no prior knowledge to where they're hidden, how can you make it go one way or another to direct you to where these locations are?
Well, that's like on our tour in Sonoma, and actually Vacaville too. They have, both tours have ghost children on it. Okay, and the one in Sonoma, we actually play a little game of hide and go seek, and we hide a little matchbox car. But the thing is we turn it over to the guests. It's not me doing it. It's not Ellen doing it. Yeah, I'm walking them through what to do, but they're having their experience. And it's funny because the little boy sometimes, kind of goes off on the side and does his own thing, but he's about 85-90% right. So he'll find the fire truck that somebody has hidden on one of our guests.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Got to think outside the box,
Yeah, Melissa says, I've seen someone you would never think would be anywhere paranormal per se, but he was able to find the well many times this way. She's from Eastern Canada, and it's quite common for people to use this method to know where they should dig their wells. So, I mean, this goes back very, very far into history, so a very simple tool, but people say lost graves. But then we've got Jack. We got Jack Brewer, Matt,
hey,
Jack. He says he's not a fan of the dowsing rod. So, again, it's the same like we were talking about Ouija boards. All these different things are all tools, but, they all seem harmless. It's just tool of communication until something goes wrong. And then by that time, it's too late. Now you got to hope that you either know how or know somebody who knows how to help you. Because as I said, I've lived, since I was a teenager with an attachment. So sometimes, in this field, you can end up getting attachments that you may never be able to get rid of, and it really cause some real bad things going on. Mike, I'm going to drop you down real quick, and then I'll bring you back on in a minute. For some reason, my audio was sounding horrible. Okay, hopefully it's better now. All right. Hey, Ellen, nice to have you back.
Hey.
So thank you, everybody that is commenting. You guys are amazing. There's so many people commenting. I'm trying to, stay on top of everything. So if you have questions, feel free to post them below. Now, Matt, I'm going to shift real quick because I know you have another engagement that you have to go to here real shortly, and then we'll get back to Florida Springs for the last little bit of it. But
good luck at the proctologist, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Go get him, buddy. You got this.
I just want to make sure that you know that.
Solid thoughts.
One of the other things that we're going to be, or myself at Paranormal Connections, I'm also going to be covering an event that Matt and Gil are putting together. For 10 years straight, they have been doing the Shock Fest Horror Film Festival out in Hollywood, California. It's been a sold out event. Everybody who's into the horror genre and everything, like the paranormal and the horror film, like it's just a genre that should have went together, because anybody who grew up with paranormal activity, we were like horror film junkies. The stuff that's going on in our life might have scared the holy crap out of us, but we were, I can remember like the old like woven blankets, and I would like put it over my head, and when I was watching Creature Features, and I could like see through the holes, so it was like just enough if I wanted to get a sneak, but I knew something scary was coming. So it's one of those things. So I am so happy to announce that they are going to be doing an event this November, the 22nd through the 24th, in Las Vegas, California, of all places. And it is going to be an event that the paranormal field has never seen. So I get a lot of people that say all the time, yeah, Christine, I know you're going to be at this event, but I've been there like 8 years in a row. It's the same people, same speakers, same old crap. It's like, I just wasted my money to see. I could have just replayed the video from last year. So I normally, it's like I don't have much of a rebuttal because it's very true. You see in certain, like the West Coast or the East Coast, you see the same circle of paranormal speakers. Now they're all amazing, don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is it's like, how many times can you see the same people and pay a huge amount of money to go travel and all this stuff when it's the same old. So people kind of get played out on them. And so you really have to have a twist, which is why I really have loved Ellen and Devin, because all the events they have done, it is like a whole, like event. I mean, it's just, there's so much facets to it. And Matt, you and Gil are doing the exact same thing. So you have the Paraculticon this year is what it's calling. And tell us a little bit about it. I'm so excited to be part of this. It's going to be amazing.
Well, first of all, Las Vegas, Nevada, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And I got to tell you, I've been a horror fan and a fan of the paranormal all my life. Grew up in what was considered by everybody I know a haunted house because it was built by my grandparents at the turn of the last century. This event, the way God, I want to share so much because I got to say it's exciting. What we're building is exciting, and I can't share too much yet. But what I can say is this is not like anything that I've ever seen. And I've been to just about all of the horror events and a few of the paranormal events that are across the country. It's a little bit of everything. It's not just a film festival because we are Shockfest Film Festival. It's part event. It's very immersive. We're celebrating paranormal. We're celebrating horror. Gosh, I'm going to get way too hyped up and I might drop something that I shouldn't say if I get to talk too much about it. But I got to tell you, you will be missing out if you don't go. And this is me as a fan of the genre and a fan of the subject.
Okay, so we got paranormal. We've
Paranormal.
got
Horror.
Gambling.
Yes. Well, maybe not the
alcohol.
event in Las Vegas.
Yeah, alcohol.
Alcohol. That's right. That's a thing.
Dancing.
Yes, there will
Yes,
be.
dancing.
Say that. There will be dancing.
I'm known for my twerking, so we'll get ready. Everybody, it'll be a whole new live stream.
And Christina George will be there. She's our very
first those vocal cords, kids.
guest that we announced, and it's on the website, shockfesthorrorfactory.com.
Yes, and I have to thank you because, I mean, I had you on as a guest, and you had asked me to, cover the event. So I absolutely was thrilled to do that. And then after doing some filming, you guys had asked me to actually come and be a speaker, which was amazing. But not only that, but for the speakers, they get their very own trading card. And it was like so cool that I got that. I was like, oh yeah, this is so cool. And I will tell you, for the people in the paranormal, this is going to be a little bit different because other than probably me, I don't know that a lot of the speakers you guys are going to know. And the even better part is that you don't have to be kissing somebody's butt or make friends with Matt so you can be a speaker. That's not how this one works. This one, everybody's equal. There's no butt kissing. There's none of that. Everybody's got an equal shot.
Okay, wait a minute. I did all that for fun?
Yeah.
Damn it.
It was all for nothing.
Guys,
I should have told you.
The shooting we did in Napa with you guys is part of a documentary that I'm working on called Paranormal Investigators of America. And that is also part of the theme of this event. We've got investigators from all over the country, people who have never met each other, and we want to unify everybody because everybody we've met, we really liked. And everybody's invited.
Paranormal unity is a forbidden term. We're just gonna all get together and just have some fun, and hopefully it all
Matt,
works out well.
Brother. I'll see you
we
later.
want to have fun, and I gotta say, look, we're all here for the same reason. Everybody wants,
Christina,
we're all here to find proof of ghosts. So why not? It's going to make us stronger if we meet up together and find a happy medium.
I think we should incorporate something new. Ellen, follow me on this. I think we should do like paranormal grudge match. People like in a ring and like,
or Real Housewives of the Paranormal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can get like all the because. You see people post
that's like 5 seasons worth of footage right there for Gil and Matt. I'm telling you.
Make it rain in here.
And I will be the first one on it to throw a drink. I promise.
I'm not throwing a drink. My tequila is way too important. Sorry.
Christina's like, I'll throw the glass. That's it.
There you go. I got to take the shot first.
Well,
Yeah.
at Shopfest, guys, we love parties. We're not into drama, so leave that at the door. Come bring your fun stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank God.
Absolutely.
We hope you join us as well. We'll be doing an event at the Lighthouse in July, so I'll send you the info. So,
Yeah.
We're also doing Creature Con, Creature Features. Christina mentioned it earlier.
Creature Con, which is the guy that made our movie, Haunted Wine Country, has put that together. We've been on the show, Creature Features, and we actually bring the Haunted Museum and go out there, and that's going to be July 7th. So it's in San Ramon.
Actually, this Saturday on
similar idea where they want to incorporate paranormal with horror, but not on a big scale, small. So different, more like vintage movies. So
yeah, but who doesn't love Creature Features? Like that's anybody growing up in our area, like that's the all time. Other than. Well, I don't know. There's a few, but that was one of my favorites.
You know what movie they got
every
on
Saturday night?
They've got Blackula on.
Love Blackula.
Ooh,
that's
an
awesome.
awesome.
This year again too.
You mentioned the card thing. That's another thing that we're really into. We're into nostalgia. I mean, a lot of us are children of the 80s, the 70s. We wanted to make something that was fun. So if you are a speaker or would like to be a guest speaker, communicate with us. Reach out to Haunted Routes. Official guest speakers at the Shockfest event will get a limited edition trading card.
I would love to, but I'm very shy.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm very introverted.
And I would to help you out on that.
Yeah.
We love public speaking.
And the other part of that is so that it makes it equal for everybody. Again, we want new faces, and what they're going to do is they're going to be having investigators and teams from around the U.S. take your best evidence footage from an investigation and send it into them. Now, the link is at the bottom of the promo. You can click on it. It tells you how you can submit your video, all of this kind of stuff, and maybe you'll get to see your footage there and become a speaker.
Right.
The best part about this, like I said, there's going to be speakers, there's going to be workshops, there's going to be vendors, DJs, they've got escape rooms, they've got all kinds of stuff planned, stuff that they're not even talking about, yet, that it will come out little by little. But at the end of each night, which is the best for us in the paranormal, is that after everybody's partied all day and they've had all this fun with the horror and listening to everybody, at the end of the night, Gil and Matt have obtained the Artisan Hotel in Las Vegas. It is completely ours for the weekend. Right. And I will tell you, Mike and I, for my birthday a few years back, well, probably quite a few years back, first time I ever went to Vegas, we went there and we actually stayed at that hotel. And when we first walked in, the amount of activity was over the top. And that was like in the afternoon until about 6 o'clock when everybody started checking in. And we didn't know that it was also known as the biggest partying motel or hotel in Las Vegas. So there was no such thing as sleeping. There was absolutely no investigating. So it kind of sucked. I got sick. I ended up in the room like 90% of the time. So it was all around bad. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And the best part, everybody, is that, get this. Matt, tell them how much it costs to attend this event. Now, mind you, there will be add-ons. So if you want to do the investigation or you want to do other certain things, you can pay for those. But just to come and be able to check things out, guess how much, tell them how much it's going to cost.
Guys, right this second, and this isn't going to be the case for very long, the whole 3-weekend event is, gosh, like what, $20?
20
wow.
bucks. Like
right
when he told
now,
me that, I couldn't even imagine. Like,
the price.
what was it?
So if you want to get part and become a part of this, now is the time to do it for 3 whole days, $20.
Absolutely. Now, again, mind you,
you got $20 in your pocket? Come on.
Come on down. So again,
can we pay with this?
Yes.
No, we cannot. That cannot go anywhere if we go together, Ellen. No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, cue the sappy music. For the price of 3 cups of coffee at Starbucks, you could go to this con.
There's Sarah
I'm gonna do my commercials, man.
Yeah, see?
Exactly.
We can have music playing in the background, you know. We could show
That's
sad,
right.
like paranormal.
Well, you'll be hearing from us. You'll be hearing from us, Matt, for sure.
Oh yeah, you'll be hearing from us too. We had a great time with you guys, and you're stuck with us now. We're friends for life.
Yeah, we're gonna tear it up.
Yeah, you're definitely part of it. So again,
the Ghost Bus launches will be coming to.
Oh yeah, and we'll be talking about that here in a minute too.
She's gonna let me drive. No.
But yes, $20, everybody. $20 will get you in. Now, again, if you want to do the investigation, you want to maybe do the escape room, you want to do some different things, those will be extra add-ons that you can get throughout the weekend. But again, most people know. Oh my God, what happened?
Huh. Am I the only one on? Am I on? I think I am.
Well, damn, that was some paranormal stuff right there. It just knocked everybody off.
I don't see anybody. Hi, guys. It's just me in here. I guess I'm doing the show by myself.
Can you hear me, Ellen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it dropped everybody off. Let me pull Mike up here for a minute. We'll pull Mike up and bring him in. I don't know. Yeah, it dropped everybody.
Rattling the whole time. The whole time my bathroom door has been rattling. It's from the doll.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Hold on, we got Matt. Let's bring Matt on. We'll wait for Devin. Yeah, that again. Welcome to my show where everything paranormal happens all the time on the live show. Damn it!
I was the only one off for a second. I'm like, this is a great time to plug my stuff.
I know, right? Except nobody was on. It dropped all of us, so nobody could have done it. So again, $20. They'll have add-ons that you can add on to. But again, and at the end of the night, we have the investigation.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, Christina. But yeah, no, now's the time. The price will change. So if you want it for like this price, do it now. Join us. Shockfest Horror.
Nice chat view, Mike.
I love that guy.
I'm telling you, it's like the takeover of the cats.
Yep, there's mine back there. Miss Jack, with the doll.
Mine is
all right, Matt. I know that you have another appointment that you have to get to. Again, yes. For anybody who's interested in either being a speaker, if you want to submit your evidence, video evidence, if you want to get your tickets, the website link is at the bottom of the promo. Get out there, get your tickets now before they sell out. Because again, at $20 for a 3-day event, this isn't going to last long. Not long at all. And the great thing that I love about you, Matt,
a chat by accident. He's live.
Also, guys, we go live on my Facebook page, Matt Rose Valley, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We release videos on Shockfest, the Shockfest Film Festival page, specifically Shockfest TV on Friday nights. Sunday nights, we release Haunted Routes content on the Haunted Routes page. So we're releasing videos 3 times a week. Haunted Routes, Shockfest, Wall.
All right, so make sure to be able to go and check out their site. Get your tickets now. Can't wait to see everybody. This is going to be an event, like I said, that the paranormal world has never seen. And will probably change things for here on out. Because, again, this is Ellen and Devin turned up the heat on Paracons and putting a twist. And this is like the granddaddy of them, bringing all this at a location like that. Again, it's not that, the hotel's going to be packed and we're trying to find a quiet place to be able to investigate. We got this whole place. And it also has its own chapel as well as it has secret rooms. So again, this place is amazing. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So get out and get your tickets before they go up or there are no more. So we need to get them quick.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Matt. Well,
it's been really...
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. I'll be talking to you soon.
Puppy. Thank you so much.
It's like the paranormal animal planet today.
Right? I know, right?
Oh, I gotta get my cat on. God, I won't bother her.
It's just like I'm trying to relax here. I've had a long day. I don't need any camera time, Dad.
All
right, my friend. I will see you in a few short weeks because you'll definitely keep an eye on the Haunted Routes page because you will be seeing Mike Fuentes, myself, Matt, and Gil will be up in Virginia City at an undisclosed location. This is a location that has not been investigated to death. It has not been on TV. No paranormal celebrities have been there. This is a place that is so freaking crazy with activity that it has now become one of my favorite places. It's also become one of the places that scares the absolute hell out of me because I was possessed not once but twice there, and it has never happened in 52 years. I've never had that happen. So to have that happen was something life-changing for me, but I don't like for anything to be able to win over me. So I need a rematch, and the rematch is going to be going back and doing a live investigation there and filming it, and yeah, we'll be there for a whole weekend living in the place. So it's going to be interesting.
And thank you so much for
Super
everything.
excited. You're very welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon. You have a great night. Take care, guys.
You too.
Thank you, Matt. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. I'll talk.
All right. So yeah, if we get Devin back here, then we'll bring him on. But again, you guys have so much going on. You have an event coming up as well. I am excited for this one. You just announced it. It has been under construction and in the works for quite a few months already that nobody knew about. Why don't you let the listeners know where it's going to be and when?
Oh, awesome. Okay. So it's going to be at the Point Arena Lighthouse, which is out in Point Arena, California, up in Mendocino County. And we're going to be doing the Ghosts on the Coast is the name of the event. The event is going to be July 19th through the 21st, I believe it is. And they're going to actually have investigators there. We're going to do a little fun thing Friday night. Devin and I always like to do things different, so we're not going to follow the same style as we always do. But we'll do something that's different and fun. Tickets this time around are $80. So about half of what they were before. It's very low key. Tickets are limited. There's only going to be maybe 30 people or so, maybe more, maybe a few more. And I'll be releasing all of that info this week. But it'll be up on the Napa Ghost page later this week. You can also email me, so anytime through Facebook or whatever, and I'll give you information on that. But save the date because it's going to be awesome.
I am super excited, and as well, as well, you have the Florida Springs tour that's coming up. Now I know that
that's ongoing once a month to October. We are in the works with doing a special paranormal event at Christmas time there that may or may not come to fruition, but we will see. But again, totally different, never been done here. And so that'll be about we'll be announcing that probably in the summer if we're going to do it. Tickets to Florida Springs, it's a 3-hour tour. It's $75. But you also get wine tastings, including I believe the most coveted wine, which is the Malbec, the Ghost Winery wine, which is very, very, very high-end wine. But don't quote me on that. Go to the site and look at it first. So,
all right. I have Ron from Twitter, and he is asking, so are you telling me you guys are going to be drinking wine and then investigating? Not safe. No, that's not the case, right? We're going to be doing the tour, investigating, and then the wine tasting at the end, right?
No drinking before the investigation. No drinking before, all after. We are big proponents of being safe on our tours, on our investigations, and we've actually had to kick people out of things that have been drinking or otherwise. So no, we never allow that. And we're big on being safe. So even though it's at a winery, it's after.
Well, and you know, it's funny because I'm the one that always tells everybody you should not be drinking or anything like that before an investigation. And then they say, well, then Christina, why do you drink and then you investigate? Well, because Christina gets drunk and somebody says, oh, we should go investigate this place. And everything sounds like fun when you're drunk. I'm like, sure, why not until you're possessed? And then it's not no fun anymore. It comes, it wakes you up real quick.
Yeah. It's just,
so yeah, it's very important.
It's not. And I don't know why people would want to do that anyway. It's just like, I don't know why people would want to come on our walking tour when they're drunk. I don't want to walk when I'm drunk.
Why? Because it was my birthday, and I was in Virginia City, in the town of every 2 doors it's a bar, and I was getting free drinks, and then people started saying, hey, yeah, why don't you check this out, why don't you check that out? I'm sure, like my cousin Mike, he was like, oh yeah, I want to see what you pick up at the wash show. So I was like, sure, cuz let me walk through, but yes, like normally Christina just, if I'm going to drink, I'm not investigating. If I'm investigating, I'm not going to drink. But if you catch me at the right time, at the right place, I'm going to have to stay away from the casinos when we're in Vegas until after the fact.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and that's the other thing. Devin and I hardly ever get to attend events as guests. So we always look forward
to it. It's fun though.
Yeah, as a guest. We always look forward to that. And if we go to the Vegas thing, that'll be, amazing. And just going to different things and doing different events. I'm very inspired by that. I've recently been working with dark market people because we're also artists as well. So going to their events is amazing. And we found all the vendors for the Tahoe Biltmore event last year. And just meeting these amazing people with these visions. All of that's amazing to do. And, it all kind of comes together into one place. And that's what makes these kind of events interesting. Not doing the same thing with the same people, doing the same party year after year after year.
Now, have you done the North Shore investigations before?
I hadn't actually, but I do know a lot about the area now since we did a lot of research. Yeah. But we did make some contacts there, and hopefully we'll be, working up there again soon.
I had
absolutely.
I had gone through a lot of those casinos before in the past, and my best one was actually the Cal Neva, which is I don't believe it's open anymore. But
they're redoing it right now. It'll be open again.
Oh, they've been doing.
But they are big on their ghost tours. They were. I don't know if the new owners are, but they were.
Okay.
Well, once it opens, Mike, we know where we'll be headed.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
Place for an investigation.
Okay. Go ahead, Mike.
A lot of history there at the Cal Neva, and I'm sure they also have a lot of hidden rooms too.
They do actually. We discovered that there was probably a tunnel going across
underneath
under the road they did have it because Frank Sinatra and them would walk over to other hotels in the area that way, so they wouldn't be recognized in public.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
they need a quick way in and out so that nobody can recognize them.
Right.
Yeah, and not only for celebrities, but a lot of the gangsters and stuff that were out there at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I know that the Flora Springs, we'll go back to that. Flora Springs, I know for the debut of that is already sold out. Done deal. No more tickets available. But I just checked for the one for next month, and I think so. You take groups of 30, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 30 people. About 30 people.
Somewhere around there.
Actually,
and I think that there was.
Yeah, they're moving it down. So, we're trying to make it more intimate. So it could be as 20. So.
Yeah, and I like that. But for next month, that means if there's going to be 20, at this point, there's only 7 more tickets available because there's already 13 people that are going. And again, the first one sold out before you could even imagine. It's a done deal. Now, I have been asked to join that one. I will be there, and I will be live streaming. So make sure to keep, a look at the page. We'll be doing some live experts and stuff when we're there. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And, again, I just saw that Devin said he can't get back in, but I again want to say thank you for taking us up to Flora Springs. It was an amazing time. I'm looking forward to going up here for the debut and the other things that we have coming up. There's a lot of other things that over the next couple of months we'll be announcing, but I will be doing some different things and teaming up with Devin and Ellen, along with a lot of other teams around the country. Got a lot of interesting and fun things coming up this year. So it's going to be a great year in the paranormal. So make sure to stay tuned to the show for all of the updates. The website is going to be going live here probably within the next couple of weeks. So you'll be able to have one stop where you'll be able to find everything, where we'll be at. Where we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing contests where people can come out and investigate with us. There's just all kinds of stuff that's coming up. So stick around for that. If you want to book a trip to the Napa Valley, or if you live in the Bay Area and you'd love to take a day trip, check out the surrounding area during the day and go to the event. Go to the Ghost Tour at Florida Springs in the evening. Get your tickets now. Once again, their event page is linked down at the bottom of the promo, so make sure to check that out and get your tickets before it's gone. All right, let me see. I'm going to take a couple questions real quick. And no, don't worry, guys. I'm sitting here watching the comments. That person is just a troll. Don't even pay attention. It's not even worth it. How much is the hotel? Pat, are you talking about the hotel for Las Vegas? And if so, just stick around and pay attention to my page. They're working on getting some group rates because nobody's going to be staying at that hotel. Again, we are going to have the hotel completely open so that we're able to investigate the full time there. So it's going to be a lot of good. Oh, we got Devin back real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, those who have never seen that hotel, I would recommend that they Google the name.
Okay, for the record,
yes,
I don't know anything pretty much about basketball, but for some reason I got stuck into the basketball championship room. It was like the weirdest.
That's like right out of track. That's out of like Star Trek. You got transported to a whole nother chat.
I was in a whole other world there, man. It was like people are like, they're like, Devon, so what do you think? And I'm like, it's Devin, first of all. It's like,
second of all, I have no idea.
Your name wrong recently?
Yeah.
What was it? A while ago that we spelled your name wrong. Okay, never mind.
It was Devon.
I go, Devon, it makes you sound more debonair.
I'm not filing for that. That's not me. I don't know who that guy is.
Like Tarjay.
Yeah, but the guy asked me to
more mysterious.
He asked me the point spread on the game, and I made up some shit. I don't know if that's going to come back to me.
That might get your ass kicked if he loses a whole bunch of money. You better watch out. You better go change your name. Oh, well, he'll be looking for Devon, not Devin, so you're good.
And I went ghost on
He doesn't know who you are. Right? Well, again, we've been talking about everything that's been going on, all the things that are coming up. Again, we still have some amazing stuff, to announce in the next coming months. Devin and Ellen are just kind of on the fast track right now of just all over the place, working with other people, working on their own events, upcoming stuff that's happening. And I'm telling you, this year is going to be a good year for the paranormal. I think, people just need to focus on doing them, get together with who you like. If you don't like somebody, stay the hell away from them and just be professional and just do you. Like, stop worrying about everybody else and everything, because I'll tell you, when you stop worrying about everybody else and you just do what you want to do, everything really starts falling into place. And I think that we all can, give testimonials on that one.
Yeah, I think that distraction is not a good thing. Distraction is bad. Distraction.
That's true. That's true. And we got too much going on this year to be distracted. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. And we will be doing some sky watches. A few areas. We're going to do some probably out here in the Napa Valley, North Bay area. We'll also be doing some up in the Sacramento area. We're going to be doing some camping trips. We're actually even going to be going out. Well, we're going to be going towards Area 51. There ain't crap there anymore. So we're going to go to a different secret route out over by there. But we got a lot of stuff going on this year. So just keep a watch on the show page and pick a place that we're going to be this year. I don't know. My calendar is so full. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. Keeping my fingers crossed. My health stays good. And if not, I'll live stream or I'll Skype in. All right. Well, we are about out of time. I want to thank everybody who
What do you mean?
joined
I just
me.
got back.
Oh, I know. You want another 10 minutes? What do you want to talk about, Devin? We're going to extend it just for you.
I don't know. I'm shy, and now I'm depressed.
It's amazing how time flies.
No, it's all good.
You know. All right, let me see what's going on in chat real quick before we head out. Let's see.
You know what we should look into? We should look into doing the area out by Skinwalker Ranch. I'd love to get out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, the only thing right now is that, I mean, you can't really get too close to do anything because it's like top Fort Knox security out there, and they've got armed guards, and
there's property on both sides of it that are still public.
Interesting. Well, maybe. If not, I have another location, which is the Stardust Ranch, which is like Skinwalker Ranch, except a lot more, well, I would say pretty eerie. I mean, they've actually, the person who owns the property has claimed that he has not only seen aliens and paranormal stuff going on there, but he's actually killed an alien.
I'm having a gargoyles flashback right now. Remember that?
So we're definitely. I will check out a few things and see if we can get some dates, and if so, we'll definitely take a road trip and go out there. I've been invited for a while to go out there. It's just I don't go anywhere in the winter. It's just too damn cold for me, and so it's cold in California, so I gotta like stay here. If it's cold in California, I can't go outside of California.
Unless there's a California hurricane going on, then you go out.
And then, yeah, well then I don't even know. I'm going underground, I think. I don't know. I'm going back where I belong, under the underbelly of life in existence.
Can I give a shout out, Christina?
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to my people that play the Pirates of the Caribbean Tides game, because I know some of them are on here tonight watching.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining. That's awesome.
And the reason why is that I love this game because, you know, you get to blow stuff up and do this stuff. And if you play the game, you realize that the game is actually an analogy for the paranormal field. It mirrors it. It has all the drama. It has all the people you want to kill. It has alliances.
But you can't.
It has people.
But at least shit. There you can shoot them.
Copying your shit.
Well, true. Yeah, but the thing is that it's illegal to shoot anybody in real life.
No, you just blow them up on this game.
But Christina, is it?
Well, only if you get caught.
Right?
Right?
You know, sorry. Yeah. You know me. Okay, so
yeah.
I also go ahead.
I wanted to shout out to Kimmy Lopez and 11th Hour Paranormal. I see her
What's
on.
What's up, 11th Hour?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And for Kimmy, well, actually, next month I will be out streaming live at Gaia Fest. I've been invited to go back this year. I will be out there for a few days. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Kimmy, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Chrissy both here in a very short time. So it's
and their
really
store
fast.
Gaia House is amazing. You got to go there. It's definitely amazing. It's in Fresno.
Yes, absolutely. So I will be out in Fresno for that. And one last shout out, because I told my good friend that I would help her out. She is, oops, hold on, let me pull up her message. So we got Kimberly Huddle Brule, and she is an author. She's a very well-known author. She has all kinds of books that she has written, and right now she is got her books submitted to a contest, and so she is pretty far up there. She's looking for some votes, so we need some help from our listeners and friends. So if you go to my Facebook page, and I will put it on the Paranormal Connections page as soon as we get off, but it says, please vote. Secrets in the Shallows has moved back to rank 9. I only need 5 votes to get to number 8 in the all author cover of the month contest. If you haven't voted, please click on the link below and click on the vote button. She's got 2 days left to go for this round. So let's help her out by giving her a vote. All right. And girl, I love you. Anytime I can give any help to promote anything you're doing, just let me know. All right. With that being said, we are at the end of the show. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. You guys were amazing. Thanks for all of the comments and the reactions. Make sure to share this with all of your friends, groups, things like that. Get the word out because, again, these events that we've talked about, the 3 events coming up, you don't want to miss them. You do not want to miss them. So make sure you check everything out, get your tickets, and I will see everybody real soon. All right.
I just
Thank
want to
you,
give a shout out to
Sullivan.
the basketball group that I was just in.
Shout out to the basketball. Hope you
Thank
didn't lose too much money.
Yeah. Call me if you win.
Exactly. And don't call me if you don't.
Right.
Lose my number if you don't. Wasn't me. It was that Devon guy, you know.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
figure.
it's
Your
Devon.
evil
That's
twin.
my evil twin brother. I don't know who he is.
That's right.
Twin is Kevin.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
his drag queen name is Davina, Queen of the Night.
Well, this is his twin quadruplet, then I guess, or something. Like you just got like you're a multi-personality. You got multiple personalities.
You have a lot going
I don't
on.
know.
There's a lot
obviously a lot. All right, everybody. You have been listening to Paranormal Connections radio show, 107.7 out of New Orleans, and I will be back next week. Make sure to check me out Wednesday night for when I will be back with top secret news. Boy, oh boy, you want to talk about some strange news. Haven't been doing this for a few weeks, and we got some strange stuff to go over on Wednesday night. So make sure to join me 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.